Great experiences build great leaders. Great leaders build great teams. This is Building Great Sales Teams. It never gets old. I still bob my head to that song every single time. All right, guys, I don't have time to diddle daddle, to fart around. I don't know, whatever those old man sayings are, because I'm getting there. I'm turning 39 in a couple weeks, which is kind of wild for me. But anyways, let's get into it. 5-minute sales management training. Okay. How to manage a salesperson. This is not necessarily how to manage a team. This is more how to manage the individual. Okay. Now you are a trainer. Now you are a manager. Now you are leading someone. You're the owner. You hired your first salesperson, whatever the case is. Let's kick it off with a calendar operating system. So if you're a business owner, you're a manager, you're a trainer, you should already have your calendar dialed in by now. This is a big part of having your shit together so that you can show someone else how to have their shit together. Okay. So what I mean by that is when you look at my calendar, you look at what's important to me. I've got personal things on there. I've got training on there. I've got sales meetings on there so that this person can actually know when we're going to meet, right? I've got one-on-one cadences on there. So I'm meeting with this person once a month, once a week, whatever the case is, whatever makes sense for you and your business. It needs to be calendared and you need to be running on a calendar operating system. If you want to get into the details of it, you can color code these things. I've gone through some of this in previous episodes before, but you can color code them. And then you can see how many hours you're spending on actually managing your sales team, your salesperson. And it will accumulate that on the week, on the month, on the year. And you can kind of look back and see where you spent your time. It's incredibly important to reverse engineer that to do those time studies. All right, we're already 2.5 minutes in. Okay, so rep attitudes and why they aren't special. Look, your sales rep is not special, but they think they are. You have to remind them that there's a systems and a process to everything that you're doing. If they follow the systems and the process and they execute the controllable actions, they will be successful. But if they don't, it typically happens when their ego gets inflated enough that they think they are special. But it turns out that every salesperson that came through your program or every salesperson that ever existed was excited about the job when they first came in. And then all of a sudden they had to be disciplined and not just excited. Okay. And so now they're making excuses as to why they're not disciplined anymore or why they're not disciplined, why they're not hitting their controllable actions. So remind them that, hey, you aren't special. You're just not hitting your controllable actions. And that's why your sales aren't going through. It's not because of customer service. It's not because of the product. It's not because of, the market or the turf. It's because you're not hitting the controllable actions anymore. Hold the standards, not their feelings. Going back to the controllable actions, you should be recording metrics. You should hold them accountable to those metrics. Those metrics should at least be 50% controllable actions. And then the other 50% results from those controllable actions. And if they're not hitting them, put them on probation, hold their feet to the fire, and then hopefully they step up to the challenge. If they do not, and they don't have some kind of life event going on, then it's time to cut them loose. Set the standard, hold the standard. That's same thing goes with core values. Okay, one-on-one meetings, these are your best tool. How do you have that conversation about them not hitting the controllable actions? You have a one-on-one meeting, you set an agenda, you start off with good news, all good things. You go into updates, what they're doing, you go into updates and it's any systems and stuff like that. And then you go into metrics. Metrics, are they hitting them? Are they not hitting them? Create issues from those metrics. And then you dive into the issues. This is the EOS model on a one-on-one meeting. You go into the issues, you assign them to do's in order to solve the issues. Y'all figure those out together. You do that together and you're going to be in good shape. Okay, I'm at 4.5 minutes, but 30 seconds was the intro. So I'm not counting that. All right, we got 1 minute left. How to manipulate results with systems and data. There is a sales pipeline. In each stage of that sales pipeline is a conversion rate. Figure out what your conversion rate is and train on increasing the week conversion rates. It's very simple. You should be tracking this stuff and know when your salesperson gets to each stage in the process. And again, train them on improving those conversion rates. Your one-on-one meetings become about that training, or your daily meetings do that. All right, last piece is that there is a time and place to be human. If they've got these crazy things going on in their life, you make exceptions to probation. You make exceptions to standards when they've got these crazy things going on in their life. Now, if they consistently have something crazy going on in their life over and over again, they're probably not for you and not going to consistently produce for you over time. I got 8 seconds left. That is your 5-minute sales management training. All my episodes expand on all of these different things. So just do a quick search and you'll probably find more details on what you're looking for, or reach out to me directly and I will drop the episode. No problem at all. Guys, thank you so much for supporting, following, and listening to the episode. If you got value from this, share it with your friends, with your family, with your salespeople, so they know when you're coming down on them for not hitting their controllable actions, it's because Doug told you to. All right, guys, let's get building.